Hey guys, so if you've been following us at all on social media and a little bit on YouTube, we've talked about the fact that we have we have started this year out with COVID. We are ending the year with what we have dubbed Snotfest 2022. This has been the worst viral funk that has hit our house in a very, very long time. It's just one day you feel good, the next day you feel like death, then you feel good, and then you feel like death. So we do try to stick to more homeopathic remedies, and I wanted to just tell you some of the things that we tried until things took a turn for the worse and we had to seek more traditional medicine because it went south quick. So one of the things when we are sick, we increase our intake of zinc. Zinc, also vitamin D. And I add what's called NAC. These are all to help your body's immune response. It's to help increase your body's immune response to whatever mess you have come in contact with. With this particular funk, it has come with an amazing, I don't know where it's all coming from, amount of snot, which is literally coming out everywhere. And when you have a newborn, okay, she's a month old, she'll be 5 weeks on Saturday. When you have a little one like this and a 3-year-old, the snot is like everywhere. It's everywhere. You want to see? So the kiddos, the littlest ones, have gotten the eye gunk, which I've been putting breast milk in their eyes just because it's not really an infection. It's just literally snot coming out their eyes is what it is. It's awful. It's awful. For us, we haven't really had any eye involvement. Even Kev hasn't had an eye involvement. But the snot, the one thing we are doing, I'm not going to go into brands, but these sinus rinse bottles are amazing for getting rid of, what you have access to up on top. Especially with Kev, he has a hard time clearing his airway, so we've definitely upped the frequency of which we are doing that. The other thing that it comes with, because you've got so much drainage, and a lot of that's going down your throat, getting down, into your lungs a little bit, cough. It's terrible. So back, I think it was when we had COVID, I learned about fermenting garlic. So this has been going since last spring. So this is fermented garlic and honey. It's just, you basically take the honey, drop the garlic in there, make sure the garlic's covered, and just keep making sure it's covered. And then just let it go. You can take the garlic cloves out, but honestly, if I got bad enough, I'd actually chew them up because garlic has a lot of healing properties. So I have used that for cough. One of the things I read about this time is something called Oxymel. Oxymel. I'm going to try this on camera for you guys just because it sounds not very palatable. But if I'm going to tell you that I'm doing something, you better know that I'm doing it. And if I can make it myself, wonderful. Hey, Mama. This little girl is starting to expand her wake windows, so she's up more. So you may see her more in videos. She is just wanting to be involved in everything. So what Oxymel is it's half and half of local honey and apple cider vinegar. I had every intention of making my own apple cider vinegar this year, but let's face it, y'all. I was way too pregnant and way too miserable and uncomfortable to even think about doing anything. I didn't even get to make applesauce, which really made me kind of sad. I'll be honest. I wanted to make applesauce. So, Missy, this is kind of hard to do with one hand. All right. And yet I did it. So here we go. I'm trying the Oxymel because I have been coughing up some gunk and I would like to thin that out and soothe my throat and all that. All right. I made this 2 days ago. So it's been sitting. Both apple cider vinegar and honey are stable at room temperature, so you can keep that right in the counter in your cupboard. All you do is equal parts, mix it together till it's all smooth, and then that's actually not bad. I thought this was going to be a funny video and you'd get like a really funny like facial expression from me, but that actually really wasn't bad. It's almost like if you've ever had honey that's been infused with like habaneros and you get that heat. It's almost like that, but it doesn't bite. There's heat, like I can feel the heat, but no bite. Interesting. That's really interesting. That's not bad. That actually is gonna stay in my tool chest. I like that. I may never have to buy cough syrup again. So I said that things went south. But the other thing that Nick and I both struggle with our ears when we get sick. I have like a chronic sinusitis situation going on, so I have to be mindful. I've had ear tubes for about 5 years, and when I had a little bit of I had a problem, like it was really stuffy, like I had a lot of like stuffiness when I was pregnant with her. And on one of my well visits with my primary care, they looked at my ear and found a lot of wax. And when they were like, literally they had like 5 people come in and look at my ears because my ears are not great. And one of the times they pulled out a chunk of wax, but with it came my last ear tube. So this is the first time in 5 years I haven't had ear tubes. So I'm pretty sure I ruptured this eardrum with this because I did not start flushing my ears soon enough. Just with you alternate like a couple drops of mineral oil, or you could use like a fractionated coconut oil, or I'm sure you could probably use like a garlic oil or a mullein oil, something just to soften the wax. And then the next day you put a little bit of peroxide in and it just breaks up that wax. If you've ever used Debrox, it's the same kind of principle, but more natural. I did not start that soon enough, and they couldn't tell for sure when I was in the doctor's on Monday, but this ear is pretty bad. They could hardly see it because of all this, the pus and stuff. Like I had literal pus coming out my ear. So that's something you could do, but start it as soon as you get all this drainage. Like don't wait until you have a serious problem, because once you've opened that up, you got to be a little bit more careful what you put in your ear. But yeah, so unfortunately Isaiah is on his first antibiotic ever. So 3 years, over 3 years, he's made it without being on any kind of antibiotics. He's a pretty healthy kid. Nick and I both have had to do a round of antibiotics and a round of steroids just to kind of dry this up quickly, because it just isn't going away. We are over 10 days into it now. We're Monday or Tuesday was a week. So, and today's Thursday. I don't know when this video is going to go up. Today's Thursday. So, yeah, we're going into the holidays rip-roaring. But I hope you enjoyed some of these natural things that we have been using, as opposed to running to the store to grab stuff. I did grab some cough and mucus stuff for Isaiah that's designed for kids. I got the Highlands. I just, taste-wise, I don't think he would do the garlic or the Oxymel. I have a hard enough time getting the sweet stuff into him as far as medicine. But I hope you enjoyed this, and maybe it gave you some ideas. There's lots of ideas out there on the internet if you want to start looking into herbal medicine. I am really hoping that I can take an herbal medicine course, because it just fascinates me how a lot of our actual medicines, like aspirin from willow bark, something like that. It's a medicine that we don't think about, but it has its roots in herbal medicine. And so I am trying to get more natural with things, especially as we look at the economy doing weird stuff and, shortages coming around. We've noticed a lot here lately of just common things not being available in the stores. Just weird, like sausage. Like there was no sausage in the local Aldi the other day. Weird. One thing I almost always will have is eggs, because I have eggs out the yin-yang, and hopefully once we get on the mountain we'll have our own pigs, so we'll have plenty of sausage then, and bacon. But that's all for now. Have a great day, guys, and if you, like us and about half of the country, are dealing with Snotfest 2020, hopefully you feel better soon and can have a nice holiday. Have a great day, guys.